would say something that aggravates me on a daily basis is wanting to communicate with people about my special interests, but time and time again, I have found reasons to just sit in silence by myself, staring and obsessing in wonder, alone. There are so many things I find myself enjoying on a daily basis, and I have next to no friends who understand me. No one to send memes to that make me want to roll on the floor laughing. I just post things that make me laugh and be happy in my Discord where no one else really responds or posts alongside me. Throughout my life, it doesn't matter who I've met in real life, boyfriends and girlfriends alike, they've never shared many of my own special interests. I remember when I was younger, I was so outgoing and wanted to speak to everyone all the time and be interested in whatever they were interested in. Because I was such a people pleaser. So if people weren't interested in what I liked, then I would just become interested in what they liked. So, however, once I found my own special interests, I've become so antisocial. And I know, really, the only way I may ever find people to connect with about my special interests is going to be by expressing them. So, I aspire to do that while also sharing those interests with anyone who cares enough to listen. And I know that due to these particular special interests, it actually does make it hard for people to become friends with me. And I just want to say, I'm very decided on these things. You will never make me hate them. You'll also find it really hard, if not impossible, to ask me to be interested on anything else on a daily basis. Day after day, I chose to immerse myself in as many of these things as possible. And I've been doing this from such a young age. So these special interests have been such a big part of my life and made me me. And so I'd like to start. My very first special interest as a little girl was World of Warcraft. It's the core of my being. I don't speak with many people who like World of Warcraft because a lot of girls who play World of Warcraft play Alliance. And I hate the Alliance very badly. In my head, Alliance faction in World of Warcraft is racist. A faction of people who denied the undead Forsaken people to go somewhere. You know, after Arthas turned them undead, like it wasn't their fault and they didn't choose that. And they were looking for safety and to go back to the people that they belonged to prior to being forced to becoming undead. And the Alliance, the human people, denied them. And that's why the undead had to choose the Horde. That's racist. That's literally, I don't care, you know? They have proceeded to do this to multiple races in the game. The Alliance faction does this to multiple Horde races. Horde races that want to be part of the Alliance so that there actually would be no World of Warcraft. But for some reason, like, it's okay to, like, have this faction that is, like, literally racist. I don't know. It aggravates me very badly. And I cannot be friends with people, like, wholly and completely if they tell me they are an Alliance faction enjoyer in World of Warcraft. Like, you have to enjoy World of Warcraft but not take it so seriously. For example, being like Asmongold. Asmongold has probably never roleplayed in World of Warcraft. Asmongold loves World of Warcraft, but I can tell you he probably doesn't really give a flying fuck between the Alliance and the Horde faction. Has he always played the Alliance faction? Does he prefer playing a human? I don't know why. Yes, but do I think that he would even share those ideals with the Alliance faction? No, and I also know he doesn't care because I don't even think he's read, like, that deep into it. And so, if he did, maybe he would care, and maybe a younger Asmongold would have been a Horde player, right? But, like, yeah, like there's some guys out there who I know are not that serious about the game. But I know girls like myself, we're serious. And if you're a girl who's taking World of Warcraft serious and you like it and you choose to play the Alliance faction, I just can't fully respect you. That's it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But like, I can't choose to be on the racist side. I can't do that. It just doesn't. Like, I have tried. I need y'all to understand. I have tried playing Alliance characters. I love the Draenei. I love the Void Elves. I play on Moonguard server. I want to play an Alliance character so I can communicate with more players. But, like, I can't stand all these people sitting and chilling on the racist faction. Like, I can't do it. I look at orcs and undead and blood elves and I just feel bad for them. And I'm just like, I affiliate with you. I am like you. I feel misfit in this world. So, like, I could go on forever that how much I love blood elves and the Horde and heck, demon hunters, right? Like, I wanted to see demons, so I ripped out my eyes. There's so many cool things in World of Warcraft, and I could talk about it for hours, but also I feel so strongly about it. Like, the whole, why would a person play a human in World of Warcraft? There's how many fantasy races, and you're just, you see fel pouring from the eyes of blood elves, and you still want to play a human? Like, what? I'm way too far deep into it. I've gravitated to it ever since I found out about it. My most prized physical possessions are like the WoW discs my brother, who's 10 years older than me, entrusted to me. He was the one who was first into like Diablo and WoW. By the time Cataclysm expansion released, my parents bought me that CD. The account has been mine ever since. So, the expansion disc set, it means so much to me. And it's one of the reasons, I think, without a doubt, I'm on the autism spectrum. Because the discs hold and serve no purpose. Yet the thought of losing them makes me almost well up in tears. I rarely find people who love World of Warcraft in a way that I do. And almost every single time, they're an Alliance player. And I just don't feel the same sort of camaraderie with them. Like, it just seems like that's the evil faction to me. So, like, why would you choose that? I don't know. You won't be able to change my mind about that. So let me stop before somebody in the comments wants to have a lore war. Like, I do not care what you think or feel. I want you to know that is how I feel, and there's no changing that, because I have felt this way since I read what happened to the original Forsaken people in, like, the vanilla World of Warcraft story before Blood Elves really even, like, they were in the story and went out, but they weren't even a playable race, right? And I played a night elf. When my brother first put me on the game, I was playing a night elf. And I was like, oh, these elves are so cute and cool and stuff like that. And then I started going on the internet and looking up World of Warcraft lore. Because I loved reading books and stuff when I was like 8 years old. And that's what I did because the game was really hard. So instead I just like wanted to learn more about the game. But really it was just the lore about the game. And I read why the Forsaken like were stuck in Lordaeron, why the undead people and the humans were not friends, and what happened. And I was just like, oh, so the humans are racist. Oh, and then like it's just clicked like that for me ever since. So you're not going to change that. I'm really, really sorry. My other special interest lies in the entire idea of what Fallout is, how very real and may as well be for this world that we live in today, actual reality, possibility. My obsession with retro-themed things, combined with my constant love for Apocalypse. I remember growing up, one of my favorite movies was Resident Evil Apocalypse. I remember I was so young and my older brother and my mom would tell me I wasn't allowed to tell people in school what my favorite movie and like video games were. I wasn't allowed to go to school and talk about what I actually did and liked at home. And I had some people ask me like, why did you have to mask a lot if you were never diagnosed with autism as a child? But I would tell people who were closest to me about things that I really loved and cared about, and they would tell me that I wasn't allowed to talk about those things in a public setting because they were way too mature for someone my age to be ingesting. But the people closest to me knew that it wasn't making my mental bad. I wasn't taking like bad things away from it or anything like that. I just genuinely enjoyed those kind of things. So like, yeah, at 7 years old, I don't know what kid watches Resident Evil Apocalypse, but I did, and I freaking loved it. And yeah, there's just so many zombie movies, apocalyptic movies, that I loved. And I played Fallout 3, and then Fallout New Vegas came out, and that, ever since I first got my hands on Fallout New Vegas, that has been my very favorite video game. So... I just love the whole idea of like world-ending events and humanity still surviving. And I have main character syndrome in my skull, so I don't consider being like a random extra who dies to like tripping on my shoes not being tied. I just assume I have like main character powers. That allows me some sort of like relevance throughout my entire life until my somatic ending. Like, the courier in Fallout New Vegas, that's me. Okay, canonically, in my head, I am the lone wanderer. I don't take arrows to the knee and quit adventuring. I take bullets to the brain, and the spurs keep on jangling. I really love Fallout New Vegas. When I didn't have internet or World of Warcraft subscription, Fallout New Vegas was there for me. And, like, so was Oblivion and Skyrim, to be fair. I've had so much fun in Skyrim, especially recently. I played it again on stream, and, you know, I've been having this burning feeling in my chest that is telling me I need to play Oblivion again. Because sometime soon, like, I remember playing it. I remember finishing it, kind of. But, like, I don't... Like, I know... Do you know when you know you've done something, but you don't remember the act of it? Yeah. That is my memory of Oblivion. Like, I really do need to play it sometime soon, because I know I've done it, I know I played it, but I like, don't have recollection. And, however, what I do have recollection of is Oblivion character creator, and also the Dragon Age Origins character creator. Oh my... I have taken so much time in my adolescent years to just go through, just sit there and making characters. Like, the only thing when I was that young better my time spent in those character creators, because the only thing else that I really had fun doing was like drugs for the first time. That is the equivalency of fun, okay? That I had. I remember the character creator memories way more clearly than the drug ones, so. But anyways, Fallout. No, seriously, I want to tell you, I speak to you now from a chair that it's not even sold anymore. Like, look at this. Look at my chair. This is my chair. I love it. This is my scarf, my custom scarf and hat. Bougie. Bougie. This is one of my 2 Pip Boys. Like, your girl's got a problem. And so there's no reason that I own these things, okay? I don't like, I mean, I don't have a camera on anymore, really, right? So, and I'm not like no professional cosplayer or anything, so I don't know the point of the Pip-Boy and everything, but like, yeah, they encapsulate a feeling I can't describe. A feeling of comfort for a place you've been, but you also can't ever go. I've been there and I haven't, and I never will, but also I've been there. That's the only way to describe the feeling. Like, I stopped doing a lot of drugs as a teenager when I realized there was no substance in the world that could recreate that feeling. Like, only that connection of brain pathways in my head with memories and experiences and, like, just personal care, worth towards something that you are interested in, right? There's no drugs that can make me feel that way. I hate it. I tried a bunch. They all didn't work. Anyways, I have, you know, a bunch of shirts that are like, you know, World of Warcraft, Fallout shirts, because when I started streaming on Twitch and I used a face cam, I didn't know nothing about VTubing or anything. It was really difficult streaming daily and deciding what to wear because I was really concerned about looking like a slob and like wearing the same thing too often and then someone being like, oh, don't you do your laundry or something? Like, I don't know. Like, I got made fun of for in school by the rich kids for wearing the same outfit twice in 1 month. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you can only assume when you show up on the internet that somebody might treat you that way. Do I really give much of a fuck? No. But I just, in the beginning of my streaming content creation career, I did give that much of a fuck. And who doesn't when you're kind of new to this stuff, right? So, another reason why I wish I knew about VTubing then, but... And, like, alas, my viewership never rose because I was hiding my boobs behind those shirts. You know, but it was an honest effort to showcase things that I love to people, but I don't think anyone even cared. I feel like the moment I switched to a VTube model or at some point in between VTubing, and like going back and forth a bit, I was wearing like more low cut shirts is because I wasn't showing up on camera every single day. So I had a bit more energy to like look really cute. And I feel like people definitely cared about me putting way more energy into my clothing and my appearance than me finding a bunch of shirts of things that I liked personally and wearing those shirts because they showcase things that I like. Like, people don't fucking care. Not when you're a girl who's pretty. So... I feel like I do need to make maybe more videos or content about why Fallout means so much to me. And, or no, not Fallout, World of Warcraft, because I have made videos about why Fallout means so much to me. But with World of Warcraft, I feel like it's something that I yap about enough. If you just ingest my content for some time or get to know me through like other social media posts, it'll probably be evident, right? Like why I love WoW so much, even though I'm not actively playing it daily. And I'm not really even excited for the next expansion. But I also was not excited for Dragonflight because Shadowlands almost ruined the entire game for me completely. But I really love Dragonflight, so we'll see if I enjoy The War Within. Last, but not least, my special interests of being a VTuber stem from my love of Vocaloids. When I was younger, I loved Britney Spears a lot as well. Like, I'm talking like 3-4 years old. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Avril Lavigne on the radio. I loved hearing all of them, and I would belt my lungs out. I've never really been much of a singer. I've had some people tell me they like my singing voice, but I am no Christina Aguilera or whatever. I ain't no Ariana Grande. Okay, but I do love singing, even though I'm not good at it. And I recently saw a post claiming that Britney Spears had apparently a huge influence on Japanese idol culture. And apparently, right, the first VTuber, Kizuna AI, was obviously, of course, influenced by Japanese idol culture. So if that circle meets up, if that is truly like that kind of circle where it's like Britney Spears idol culture VTubers somehow, right? That means since I've been born, I've been jamming out, you know, knowing that this was meant for me. That I was meant to be like a DIY, cost-friendly Britney Spears at home. That's me. Like, sign me up. I really hope to be able to afford like VR stuff soon. Just like full body motion tracking, because I really want to get my hands on a proper custom 3D model of Karma, and then I could make her do dances and have fun doing ridiculous things, you know, with 3D. But right now, all I have is my iPhone camera for face tracking, and I would be able to make this character's arms move if I had any sort of motion tracking technology, but I don't have the money for that very expensive stuff, so I don't know how I will ever get into doing that. But maybe one day I will be able to be like VR VTuber stuff, because it's really cool and fun, and it is unfortunate how expensive it is. I've just always liked that kind of stuff. I've always liked anime throughout my entire life. It's meant so much to me. But, like, I do have a really hard time enjoying new age anime. I much rather watch, like, Dragon Ball Z or Inuyasha over again whenever I have free time, rather than looking for, like, anything new. I have VHS tapes recorded of Dragon Ball Z movies, and I put it in my VHS player. When I was younger, I would put it in my VHS player every single night before I fell asleep. I loved falling asleep to the sounds of, like, them fighting and flying and powering up. Like, yeah, I will get lost sometimes. Like, the moment I even start talking about it, like, those times in my life where, I just remember many summers, like, I didn't have any friends because, like, the people at school, I would have to act like a completely different person to them, and then I would be able to go home and be in my room and actually, like, be myself and indulge my things and things that I liked. So I'd spend all summer alone, and I just remember, like, day in and day out just watching tons of Dragon Ball Z. It's just like a really trippy time for me, because it was like the year right before I started doing drugs. It's just like very nostalgic. It's like one of the last years of my life I can properly remember fully. So, I think one of the newer animes I do like Seven Deadly Sins. That's one. It's really fun and neat. It's not too serious, but it also is like really good story. Super interesting characters. That's what I love about anime. Ridiculous, constant antics that'll make the viewer laugh. Really cool, fantastical, overarching story. The characters, really deep backstories, but it's gonna take a long time to, like, reveal themselves, and a cast of completely different characters, because if everyone is too much alike, I get bored. That's why reality TV bores me, and I feel like it's brain rot. If I am not watching anime, I get quite upset about movies that have real people in them, and most shows too. I feel like they're a waste of time if I'm not gaining any real life information from the shows. Like, why am I watching something that's starring real people but the story isn't real? If I'm watching content with real people, I like it to either be live, like on Twitch, you know, so I'm kind of like experiencing something in real time and being there. Or if it's like informational stuff, informational cool YouTube content. It's like feeling the opposite of FOMO when you're watching things that are live, right? I can't sit around and watch people play games, really, unless it's a guy who's really, really good at the game in a competitive sense, or if they're a VTuber. I don't find myself watching maybe, like, 2, 3, maybe 4 regular streamers, face cam using streamers, who are not gameplay focused. That's because I know those people in real life and I've not met them. Well, yeah, I have met them. Whereas people that I don't really watch, I've not met them. Tripping over my words. Anyways, I don't watch anyone who's like a huge streamer. Like, I've been on Twitch 6 years. The biggest streamer I watch is Asmongold. And then anyone else who has thousands of viewers that I watch consistently is a VTuber. So I find myself connecting sometimes with like girls on other forms of social media, and they're, you know, they're like a gamer like me. You know, Twitch, YouTube creator of some sort. And then I reveal I'm a VTuber who likes watching Asmongold, and they cringe and try to ask me to play Valorant together or try to add me on Roblox. Like, no, that's not me. I don't play those games. Sorry. It's quite a chore. I thought maybe I would just share what it's like being me. Maybe the more I am me, maybe more people like me will find me. I'm convinced that people like me don't exist. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just haven't stumbled across the people who are like me. Maybe I haven't stumbled across, you know, our paths have not crossed yet. So, that's, yeah, just a little summary about me and what I like and these things that I am constantly forever interested in. And I find myself keeping these special interests to myself because oftentimes I am met with a lot of disagreements about the way that I enjoy my special interests. I am told that I am not a real fan, even though I have been enjoying some of these special interests for over a decade. More than half my life, really. It's like many of these things were introduced to me in between the ages of like 8 and 12 years old. So yeah, like World of Warcraft. I knew about World of Warcraft when I was like 6 or 7. 2004. I was born in 1998. I knew about World of Warcraft as it was releasing because my brother played the Warcraft games and StarCraft, Diablo, and he was so excited about World of Warcraft. And my older brother, 10 years older than me, I just looked up to him so much. And anything that he was interested in, I was interested in. So, like, I know I am a true fan of these things, but the way and the reasons that I enjoy these things, a lot of people love to invalidate me, and it has made me turn into an absolute hermit. So I'm just wondering if maybe, just maybe, there's some people out there on the internet like me who either have these similar issues when enjoying special interests and people make you have to enjoy them alone, or if you do share some of these special interests with me and you like them the same way that I like them, we should be friends. You should come hang out in my streams, in my Discord, where I post a lot of Fallout and other Warcraft, Skyrim memes and things like that, and look forward to upcoming games like the next Assassin's Creed, the next World of Warcraft expansion, whatever Bethesda's gonna dish out to us next. You know, I'm looking forward to those things, but often enough in communities of people who celebrate these kind of games, I am pushed out. So maybe it's just time for me to make my own circle for those things. That's what we're here to do. Thank you so much. If you like this, be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Bye!